What up guys, it is Justice here and welcome back to Runescape. So in this video I'm going to walk you through an update in terms of the progress that I've been making at the Kalphite King. So as you guys know, I've been grinding out solo Kalphite King, burning myself out with it, managed to learn the ropes and get it nailed down. I am getting now between 3 and 4 minute kills consistently, depending on how many melee phase switches are within the kill, and depending on just how the kill goes in general. But yeah, my kills are getting much more smoother now, and much more consistent. And I did like a couple hours on stream the other day, here and there. I've got a lot to share with you in terms of my gear setup and things with solo Kalphite King now. So I've been doing loads of Araxol today, past 2 and 3 are open there. But yeah, with Kalphite King, I've changed my whole gear setup now. So I'm going to walk you through my new gear setup, the new strategy in terms of carrying out Kalphite King. So if you look at my invent straight away, I'm in ports at the moment because I'm still going for the trio missions. If I don't forget, I am obviously doing my voyages. I've got 3 off now with adventurers, and I'm just basically, these are adventurers which I really don't give a crap about. These are not linked to my trio mission at all, but it means that I have a higher chance of attracting the adventurers that I want for my trio mission, which is the Quinn mission. So still going for that. That's a quick update there, but I don't need to be in port. I actually need to go and get myself some Swift gloves. I've actually run out of Swift gloves now, which are Dominion Tower gloves. Lots of people, by the way, are questioning a lot on stream and via comment sections of videos and things about the Dominion Tower gloves. Like, why is everybody using them? Well, there's a chance that it's going to debuff the monster that you're killing, and that's the main reason why a lot of people are using Dominion Tower gloves now with your tier 90 armor if you're not using Void. They are essentially the best gloves in class. They are the best gloves in class essentially for most boss situations, unless you want to get a lot of reflective damage back onto the opponent if they can take reflective damage, so if they're not immune to it. But anyway, if you go into the rewards of the Strange Face here, and we click across, I'm going to buy another set of Swift gloves. That's a bit worrying. I now can only claim another 2 sets of any type of glove. So we've got Goliath for melee, we've got Spellcasters for magic, and we've got Swift gloves for range. So I'm going to claim this set now. Don't have invent space. There we go. Let's go back into the face. Beautiful face. It reminds me of the Night Museum, actually. We just go over here, Swift gloves, claim. I always claim my Swift gloves in white as well, so when I'm doing Kalphite King, it's a little tip for you guys, make sure to get your melee gloves in a different color to your range gloves, so you're not getting confused when you're switching between them when you're in the kill. But anyway, as you can see, this is my new invent setup, so I'm going to walk you through that right now. Alright, so I'm just going to put my scrolls into my Steel Titan. I'm going to put these scrolls back into the bank and whack out another Steel Titan. I'll explain why I've got another Steel Titan pouch in my invent now. So I'm just going to go outside so we've got some better scenery for you guys. But if you look in the inventory, essentially the gear setup is exactly the same. I've got my Slayer task, which is on preferred, so I've got Kalphites, which are on preferred list. So I actually I've only just recently put those on my preferred list, and it upped my Kalphite task to 311. Okay, the inventory. I now have 4,200 life points left. Let's go. So my Supreme Overload Salve, I now have in my invent instead of an Overload and a Prayer Renewal and an Anti-Poison Potion. So that essentially saves me 2 spaces within my invent. I've then got a Replenishment Potion, of course, for building a Adren. I've got 1 Brew Flask for emergency heals, and in case I want to keep my Adren stored, or just keep more Adren. 2 Restore Flasks is easily enough. I used to take way too many. Summoning Flask 6 to recharge the special attack for my Steel Titan, especially within the magic phase where Kalphite King is weaker against range attacks. I've got my Weapon Poison, of course, an absolute must when soloing Kalphite King. You will not believe how much this actually helps you. Ring of Vigor switch for when using Zerk. Enhanced Excalibur for the heals over time. Another Steel Titan pouch. So why have I got another Steel Titan pouch? Well, on the melee phase, when KK barges and I surge away, at that exact point, if I've got a Steel Titan active within the battle, the Steel Titan will keep the Kalphite King aggroed onto me. Now, you can call Familiar at the right time, but I prefer, and what is an absolute 100% guarantee of the kill not failing, I prefer right-clicking on my Familiar interface and then selecting the Dismiss Now. So not Dismiss Familiar, but Dismiss Now. And that essentially gets rid of it straight away without you having to go through any chat dialogue whatsoever. So if I just press Dismiss Now, it will literally disappear instantly. The scrolls will either go on the floor or they will go into your inventory if you have a space there, which majority of the time, unless the kill's starting off with melee phase, you will definitely have an invent space left. So then I just summon another Steel Titan once I go back into the Kalphite King, use my scrolls on my Steel Titan, and then you're ready to go again. Okay, so I've got an Amulet of Soul, so when I switch over to my range, this is what I'll do. I'll whack on my range setup, whack on my Nox Longbow, switch over to my action bar for range. I will then flick on my amulet. You'll also notice I take a Scrimshaw switch as well for when I'm ranging. So I switch between a Scrimshaw of Cruelty and a Scrimshaw of Vampirism. And I have these key binded on my second action bar now. So let's say I've got the Vamp activated. I would press C to deactivate it. Then I'd press V and you'll see them switch over. Then I'll hit V again and I'll actually activate my Cruelty Scrimshaw. So it actually recognizes that you've got it equipped, and then it'll change the default select option to activate or deactivate. Okay, so next thing, I've got Defender. I only use this in emergencies or when I feel like it's the right time. I will switch to my Defender whilst DPSing to maybe use Resonance if I want to res an incendiary shot. Or I could just use Devo. I could also use Reflect if I feel like I'm really getting damaged way too much. So that comes in really useful when you're soloing the Kalphite King. But when you're in a Zerk, you definitely want to be having your Rapier on to get as much damage output as possible. I then take Rocktails instead of Sharks now because of course I've only got one invent full of supplies. I then also take Attuned Portents of Restorations, which are the highest attuned portent of restorations that you can make. They require 98 divination to make. They will consume a Rocktail in order to make it, and thus will heal you 2,300 life points when you are damaged to under half of your life points, and it will do that automatically. Now, the automatically healing part of it is the important thing here. When you're in a solo KK kill, you don't want to be worrying about healing all the time. When it uses the restoration, portent of restoration, you can keep on DPSing, not have to worry about your health or anything like that for at least 2 times throughout that battle when your health goes below half. So yeah, it comes in very useful. Of course, I've got a Portent of Life that requires 99 div, and then you've got your range switch there. Swift in between Swift Gloves and Goliaths again as well. And Equilibrium Ore is the best ore you want to use for solo KKing. And that's pretty much it. So the gear setup, the main change here is a Steel Titan from a Yak that I used to use with Sharks. Now it's a Steel Titan, which gives you extra damage output throughout the battle, can really help speed up the kill, less time in there, less time for mistakes, better, more consistent kills, and then increased GP per hour. And then another big change that actually does make a big impact is an Amulet switch and a Scrimshaw switch. Those 2 switches right there, if you can get those on point and you keep doing it fluently and consistently, that can actually make quite a big difference, especially in the magic phase when you're soul splitting most of the phase. You will get increased heals whilst wearing the Amulet of Souls through your soul split. You can also choose to take numbing roots if you want to, but with this setup, you want to really conserve your invent space, so I don't take numbing roots anymore. So yeah, overall, that is the gear and inventory setup. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give a thumbs up to it and spread the word as well. If anyone else, you've got some mates who want some help with solo KK, feel free to recommend this video. I'd really appreciate that. But all in all, thank you for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and also check out the full solo Kalphite King guide, which I created yesterday, and that is now uploaded onto my channel. I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.